All right, so when it comes to nutrition, I get a lot of clients when I first start working with them who typically are either counting calories or think they need to count calories in order to get to where they want to be. And I will just say fundamentally that's not true. Counting calories can be a good strategy. It can be something that's useful in the short term just for having people understand the caloric density of certain foods. Oftentimes, people will pick up patterns of, wow, I've been overeating this certain thing and I didn't realize how many calories were in it, this, that, and the other. So, contextually, yes, it can be useful as a tool, but it can also be extremely harmful if we view the body as a furnace. So, calories in, calories out stems from thermodynamics, physics. Okay. And yes, it's true. 100%. Anyone that doesn't believe the CECO model works, they don't understand physics. So, calories in, calories out does work. If you're currently eating 2,500 calories and I cut you down to 1,500 calories a day, you will 150% lose weight. Absolutely no questions about it, unless there's something seriously, seriously wrong going on within your physiology with your thyroid or something else. But even then, you would still see a drop in weight, just not what you may expect. Now, where CECO is completely flawed is when we just view the body as a furnace, which is essentially what calories in, calories out does. Just views us as an energetic, um, putting in an input, getting out an output, putting in an input, getting out an output. And our bodies are so much more complex than that. Our energy systems are nestled layers of coherence, and it's so beautiful the way that the body stores and uses energy, and the way that your food is broken down into carbons and pushed through intricate machinery in the electron transport chain, and we get the final end product of ATP, which is giving us energy. It's really a beautiful and fascinating thing. And our food is not only giving us energy in the form of calories, it's giving us vitamins, it's giving us minerals, it's giving us information that our body either really understands and can use at a high level or doesn't understand and creates chaos within the system. So when we just view food as calories, we miss out on the vitamins and the minerals, which are actually powering all of the metabolic machinery within our body. Things like the electron transport chain, they depend, not just the electron transport chain, every single system within our body depends on vitamins, depends on minerals. These are cofactors for thousands of enzymatic reactions and the production of hormones. So if we just view food as calories, sure, we could lose weight. We can also then feel terrible because we're depleted in vitamins, we're depleted in minerals, our enzymatic systems aren't working properly. We've created high levels of inflammation in the body because the foods that we're eating. So, yes, we can lose weight, but weight is not a marker of health. And that's something that I so fundamentally try to explain to people because I think it's important is that, of course, you need to be at a healthy body weight. And that can vary person to person contextually, but body weight is not all telling of your health. And if we just follow a CECO model of eating food and just treating it as calories, sure, we can get down to a weight we want to be at, but we can then also completely ruin systems. And I'll give you a great example. I had a client that I just worked with, I guess we started 3 months ago now. And he was following a very calories in, calorie out model of eating. And from a body composition standpoint, sure, he felt he looked decent. Not as good as he'd want to look, but he felt he looked good. But his energy levels were shit. We run his blood report, we run his labs, and we see that there are certain markers that are just way out of range. And I've talked about these before, but with him specifically, it was DHEA and testosterone. And he also had hyper low magnesium and very, very low zinc. And again, this was because he was eating the same foods every day, low quality food. When I say low quality, I don't mean McDonald's. I mean supermarket chicken, supermarket rice, frozen broccoli, just to focus purely on aesthetic, purely on losing weight. And yeah, he lost weight. He got a decent aesthetic, but he paid the price in the form of he was lacking energy. He was starting to not want to go to the gym as much. He was waking up in the middle of the night 2 3 times a night because all he focused on was calories, not the information of the food, not the mineral status, not the vitamins. And on top of all of this is that the food we eat is not only caloric energy, and it's not only providing vitamins and providing minerals, it's also putting our body in a state, either in a state of calm, nourished, or a state of wired, inflamed. When we're eating food, it's interacting with so many bodily systems. So just get it out of your head that all you need to do is track calories. Yes, you can track calories as a tool, but if it's the only thing that you're looking at, you will run into long-term health problems. So find a caloric intake that leaves you feeling satiated. Find a macro breakdown within that caloric intake that works. Make sure you're getting adequate micronutrients through shuffling different fruits and vegetables into the diet. And source your food locally. I talk about this all the time, as much as humanly possible. Real food grown in real soil, connected to a real cycle of life, is super important. I can't stress that enough, how important that is for the body. And then if you're brand new to nutrition and you want to track calories for a bit, great idea, but you don't need to. If you're just eating whole, healthy, organic food 90% of the time, there's a fucking almost 0% chance that you're not going to look and feel the way that you want. So for anyone thinking about making changes to nutrition and seeing whether it's online or talking to someone, all you got to do is track calories. From a straight energetic perspective of body weight, sure, if you cut calories, you will lose weight. Most of the time, I've seen times where people struggle even with cutting calories, but that has to do with many other things. But quality of food is hyper important. Making sure the vitamins, making sure the minerals are there, making sure all the enzymatic reactions and chain reactions in your body can actually function. And you're not just going to do that through cutting calories to lose weight. So be very mindful of that.